attacks started when they were shot from the helicopters. There was 2 people killed on board before one single Israeli occupation soldier got on the ship. The white flags were raised, and after the white flags were raised, a further 7 were executed. On top of that, each commando got on board and he had a booklet that detailed 16 people that were to be singled out for special treatment. Their people were singled out and a couple of them were executed. Most of them bled to death because for hours they were refused medical treatment. On top of that, they held a 2-year-old child, a gun to the child's head, and demanded the captain to surrender his ship or they would shoot the child. These are the things we didn't hear about all week whenever the airwaves were given over to apologists for Israel and to the jokers out of Tel Aviv.
And it's very important that ordinary decent human beings stand in solidarity with the suffering of the people of Gaza today. Many people come to the question of Gaza from different perspectives. Many people come from a simple humanitarian perspective. They don't know and they're not that interested in the history of how it all happened. What they're really interested in is that women and children are without the basic necessities, that young people are brutalized by the horror of their lives, and they know instinctively and they know intellectually that it's not right. And many people come to the position from that perspective. There are others who come from a more political perspective, and their opinions are divided. So I don't think that it's necessary that we all have the same point of view on the state of Israel. I don't think it's necessary that we all have the same point of view on the issue of a 2-state or a 1-state solution. It's my personal political opinion that there is no 2-state solution to the problem of Israel. If there ever was, it has gone. It has gone by the Israeli policy of attempting to annihilate the Palestinian state and lay it to waste before allowing the Palestinian people any degree of separation and any degree of autonomy for themselves. But you don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to agree with my political analysis to know that Israel has to be stopped. Israel has to be stopped. No, Israel will not be stopped by the superior intellectual or moral weight of the argument. Israel is not listening. Israel has become its own worst enemy. It has, like many abused peoples, itself become an abuser. It is brutalized, desensitized, and by any stretch of the imagination, no longer open to the voice of reason, the voice of intellect, the voice of humanity and morality. Now you may think that I'm a bit harsh. That's all right, I don't mind that. As long as we agree that Israel, for whatever her motivation, has to be stopped and sanctioned. That means our pressure has to go on the government of the United Kingdom, who trade with Israel. You know, we talk about what Israel is doing. What is Egypt doing? What is Egypt doing supporting Israel? What is the rest of the world doing, turning a blind eye to Israel? It doesn't turn a blind eye to Iran. I tell you, it didn't turn a blind eye to Iraq. It isn't turning a blind eye to Afghanistan. So why are two big powers like the United States, like the United Kingdom, gung-ho on war throughout the world, so frightened of taking the most minimal steps against Israel? Why, in the face of what has happened, have we looked at a United Nations resolution that asks for what? A big Savile inquiry into what happened on international seas? We have seen 30 years it took to get an impartial inquiry into the killing of 13 people on the streets of Derry. Do you think Gaza has 30 years to wait to find out what it already knows? The state of Israel, as an act of international piracy and terrorism, murdered citizens of other people's countries on the high seas. They should be where the United Kingdom should have been after Bloody Sunday. They should be in the International Court at The Hague immediately. That's where they should be. Those are the demands we should raise. Those are the demands we should make. And we should begin to look in small ways at what we can each do to sanction Israel. It can be something small, like not buying Israeli potatoes. It can be deciding on some of the things that we're all going to boycott. It can be not buying Israeli oranges. It can be ensuring that every time some right-wing person gets on that show that does my head in at 9 o'clock in the morning, the name I dare not mention for my own sanity. But when somebody gets on that programme, somebody else gets on it as well. In fact, everybody else gets on it and says, hold on a minute, there's two sides to this story. That's all that we can do. We can bear witness, as people like Mairead Corrigan have done. We can look and see where best suits our own view of the world and our own solidarity and take action with whatever group suits us best. But let everybody who is here make a pledge that they will ensure that at least 5 other people who don't understand or know about this do understand it by tomorrow, that they will commit to some action to make this position known, and that they will commit to work together with other people to bring it to an end. That's all that we can do. But you can believe me that right across the world, and all of us who do what we can actually do it, we can break Israel. And let me tell you this, in the interest of world peace, Israel must be broken.
Exactly, and I'll tell you what, I was at a wedding last year and I met with a very senior TD, and I asked him to give me one reason why US warplanes land in Shannon, and he told me it's because they have to protect American investment in Ireland. So the price of a job today in Ireland is the price of the siege to be laid on Gaza. 1.3 million dead in Afghanistan and Iraq, and millions more displaced. That's now the price of a job according to the Irish government. And that has to end. And it took the anti-war coalition to do a human chain around the Israeli embassy on Thursday evening. And they remained there to Friday evening. And nobody got to work in the Israeli embassy on Friday. They should be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and every day until the Irish government go a set of kahunas and get out! Get out, everybody!
Which side are you on, boys?